Hey everyone, this week is the final week of the 2018 Summer Study Discovery Quest. Now, each week of the quest so far, you've received a specific clue, and each of those clues has been a word or a short phrase. Now it is time to take all those words and put them together to figure out a specific reference of scripture. Now, if you haven't figured out all the clues yet, from weeks 1 through 9, you can still go back under the Discovery Quest 2018 tab in the participant community. Your first job is to identify the correct reference that includes all of these words or phrases. And once you figure that out, I'll be back to give you your first clue in this final quest. So we are at week 10 in the Discovery Quest, and we are going to be looking at the 10th study book of the National Bible Bee, which is, you guessed it, the book of James. Now, hopefully you've become pretty familiar with this book over the past couple months. During our study of James, we've learned how to thrive. We've learned how to thrive in maturity, in tests, in the Word, in faith, in self-control, in humility, and in prayer. Today, we are going to use the reference of scripture determined from the clues in weeks 1 through 9 to answer the final question of the quest, which is, what chapter of scripture describes a person who thrives in the Christian life? So, first, make sure you have the reference determined from weeks 1 through 9. We're going to call this our key reference. You got it? Okay, here's your first clue. First, take the key reference and go to the second verse found within this reference. You're going to need this verse at the end. Okay, clue number 2. Take the key reference and subtract the first verse of the reference from the last verse of the reference. Let me say that again. Take the key reference and subtract the first verse of the reference from the last verse of the reference. The number you come up with is the chapter of James to go to for your next clue. I'll pause the video and be back in just a moment. Okay, now that you've got the chapter, grab a junior or senior Discovery Journal and go to the unit in the Discovery Journal that corresponds with the chapter you just determined. Once you've got the unit, go to lesson 3. And here is your third clue. Take the chapter number from the key reference and look in the Navigate section of the lesson to find a cross-reference that uses that chapter number somewhere in the reference. Okay, clue number 4. Using the same range of verses from the key reference, are you beginning to see how important this key reference is? Okay, so use that same range of verses in the chapter of James that you're supposed to be in. And in that range of verses, you are going to find 2 analogies. And I want you to focus on analogy number 2. Alright, so from the clues so far, we have a verse from the key reference. We have a chapter of James that we've used to determine 2 other clues. We have a specific cross-reference, and we have an analogy. Alright, so using the verse, the cross-reference and analogy, let's put these things together and see if we can't figure out the final message. Go to blueletterbible.com and search for the object of the analogy in the book of the Bible from the cross-reference. Depending on your version, you're going to come up with 4 or 5 results. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, now that you have those 4 or 5 references, go back to the verse determined in clue 1 to find a key word that fits with the object from the analogy. Now, using this key word and the references that you just found, answer the question, what chapter of Scripture describes a person who thrives in the Christian life? Now, the answer to that question is the final answer to the 2018 Discovery Quest. Once you figured it out, please don't share it in the comments because we don't want to ruin anyone else's fun, but enter it in the form linked to this post, and on Monday we're going to reveal the correct answer along with everyone who answered it correctly. So, I hope you have fun figuring out this final clue, and I can't wait to see if you get it all right. Best of luck and have fun!